All right. Hello, this is Ingrid Plum Silver. I'm doing a reading for Schumann, and this draw was done last week, and it's all about your work. I believe that what I saw, especially with the placement of some of the cards, it really talked about how you do your work, your trees, and when I did pick your card, the first time I picked the cards, I picked these tarot cards. The first one out of my deck I picked was the Ace of Sword, the Lady of the Lake. And it's about thoughts. You know, you use your imagination to create your work. And also right now there's a lot of your situation you're living because you've lost your loved one, and your work with your partner was very important, and you took care of her. So there is a new beginning in how you're gonna have to approach how you feel about things, out, and how you're gonna handle your thoughts. Because I picked that first card out of this deck of cards, tarot, and the second card I picked was Eight of Sword, and it really showed that there is some pain going on. It feels stuck, but it's not being completely stuck. Because you're gonna have to rework. You're gonna have to work your new thoughts to help you out of this burden of feeling, a lot of pain, a lot of you're trapped into your memories maybe. And then the last card here, I've got the Nine of Sword, and it shows nightmare. Again, trapped in your thinking, your dreams, and there's a deep burden. But there is also here the Six of Sword, and it's amazing that it happened to be all swords. I was actually kind of, it's not often you get the whole draw all swords. And then there's the star. That's the direction of, this really at where you need to be trusting. You're going the right direction with this new way of thinking, coming out of troubled water. Even if it feels like there's a lot of heavy nightmare still, a lot of things are hunting you. I think it's normal when you've lost your loved one that you will feel this way. And it's all in the thinking, because you're alone, you're isolated. You're going to see in the draw that the isolation is definitely a part of what you're living presently, so the ship here, I thought it was interesting, because the first card, often when we do Lenormand card reading, we read the first four cards to see what this draw will be about. Sometimes we'll read the four corner one. The ship here, the rider, the messenger. It's about movement. It's about moving to the other side. There's a messenger. You're trying to contact or making contact on another side of dimensions with the ship here, and then here there's a man here bringing a woman across too. So I think that is a lot on your mind, this idea to be able to contact on the other side, and especially when I did the draw, I'm going to remove the tarot cards, and I will show you where the man landed. The man is you. When there's 36 cards, and so when you have the man and the woman in the cards, where they landed, it's going to tell the story in their relationship that they have together. And also there's an extra card that comes with this deck here, and it's the diviner. I don't know if I'm saying it properly. She could see, or he could see, it landed right there next to you, but usually it represents me, where I need to focus on the draw, but I also think it's about you. It could have a double meaning, and looking in the ball, trying to see across, and then that's why I believe it's about you too, and probably mostly about you, because the man here who's gifted, and I think it's the gift of being able to go to other dimension, or with your astral travel, and you're capable to cross over very sharply. You know, you're quite capable to even go there and gather information, and that becomes like it shows that you have that gift here, that card, and actually it shows that I'm looking into, because I did another draw just recently for someone else, and the card of diviner landed right next to the cross, which is the faith. It's crossover, and so that's usually when I'm looking at somebody who's, you know, who knows about other dimensions, other reality. And I thought it was interesting. It's the second time this is happening, so I'm going to take note of that. But I think this one's definitely representing you. Now, we've already looked at the tarot cards, so we got in the four corner the ship and the rider. And the rider is usually a messenger, as a person who brings news. So a person who can go and give information, but it's very quick, and there's a quick movement. So we look at the card here. There's movement, definitely a movement, because you got the stork here in the moon here. You know, two movement card, and they're across each other. So something's moved greatly into your life. This new change, and it definitely affected your work, because the moon is the work. So all that has changed. But you're very committed to, here the ring. Yeah, I'm looking at the four corners. That's why I'm going straight there. The ring here is trees. Look at this beautiful trees. That's your work. You make trees. And there's actually, I don't know if I should bring it closer. Maybe I'll take a photo and show it to you. If you look at this card, there's a man there. It's just beautiful, the card. And that is also about your marriage. But because your work was with MJ, and you both were working artists, you're going to see, because the man landed on the bouquet, and that's a very gifted man, gifted not only with work you do with your hands, but also things when you're capable to cross over, because you channel your work, and you channel your work, it's your direction, and you have to move with it, and you go to other dimensions, like, you know, a ship, you go far with it. Because the rider's here, you see the rider here, and it's your directions. It's really important to pay attention to where your star is, what direction, and you're right directly in here. You do whip, you see your work here. This is going to be abundance for you. Fish is very abundant. It's about material, your rich, like your anything that will come to you, your money. And whip means that you have to exercise it, you have to sweep it, you've got to keep moving things. It's all about movement. And you know, there's many paths that you could take and talk about. You because a bird is talking, conversations, the many paths, you know, that you might hear, and you decide to go there. You follow things, and you've got to keep your sense of innocence. You always have to be new and be ready to stay strong, committed to it. Even if you feel isolated, you might have to do a little bit of manipulation, because it could be unbearable, the isolation. Now you see, because you see the fox is here, and it's in the house of fox, and isolation. It's also the tower, which is the tower card here. It is about your institution that you're committed to your work and everything. That becomes your, if you work for the government, we call it an institution, but you're sort of channeling work, so it's sort of an institution. It's a sort of a group that you kind of channel. But there's isolation. That's why I said you need to go out, because I have a feeling that isolation, it could be unbearable. See, you got a bear on each side here, and you're going to need to do something new to maybe start moving. You're going to need to go out and do movement. That draw here with the man here, this is your direction, right to the star. It's beautiful. The bouquet right to the star. And then after that, you got the vertical that, you know, here, it holds you at your roots here. Whatever you committed to the tree here, which is your work. You know, yes, there is a big change that happened just below you here. There's a big change that makes you feel like, you know, you're committed, but this is really in between right now, and it's actually affecting you a little bit. It makes you feel stuck, and because you were a man that was so loyal. You see the dog here. You were so loyal to You're the anchor to your wife, to her, caring for her, and also because both of you had the company together, that you were artists and you basically work together. So now you're alone. There's that isolation. But here, you're committed to this work. Now you're gonna look at the tree here, and in the ring. So you're gonna find where the ring is. The ring is in the tree, and the tree. So you see the two cards are. It ends there. I can't go any more for the story. This is very direct. It's very sharp, and you're basically. This is sharp. You see, key. This is your solution. That's what's the most important thing. These are advice. These last four cards. These are advice that you were anchored with. She gave you stability in your life, even if it's on the other side. That you will feel her heart. You will feel her love. Always will always be there, even if it feels like you're big distance, and it's an obstacle. But there's abundance on material and spiritual side of everything here. You have to trust, because that really, even if you have to have that faith, because it really at the heart of who you are and who you were with your partner, it was about your hard work. And that's why I'm going to say it's about your hard work and the beautiful things you made, because the man here who is in the bouquet, you got to go and find the bouquet. The bouquet is here in the lily, mature lilies. See, the house of lilies, mature satisfaction. You're very satisfied in your work, and actually it's ancient work that you channel. This is like something you've always been kind of connected to you, and then the lilies are here in the woman, and there's connection. You like, see, look at this beautiful draw here. You got the woman here and the lilies, and she's right here, and then you got the lilies, the bouquet, and you're very connected here, and it's a very, and then what kept you anchored here, dog, loyal, and then the dog is in the man. So your cards here is showing how much the two of you were very connected with your work, but you have to carry it on still, even if she's on the other side. You're going to be able to connect. And the tower, you need to manipulate. You see, the tower here is in the moon. This moon, you need to manipulate about your work. The moon is about what what you represent in your work, whatever you do, if it's artwork. And you see, there you go, your artwork at your sun, the mysterious work that you do, mystery. And then if you follow this line here, it's about the trees, and there's many paths. You're going to have to talk about it. You need to go make conversation. You need to go. That's why I say, Bird, you need to take a different path. You can't stay isolated. This is not going to be healthy for you. You need to move. You need to talk about your work. You need to sort of maybe even do and put it on website, because it's your new direction. But feel that, you are connected. It's really important to, because the stars, okay, see the rider, you see, let's follow the rider, the stars and the snake is about twisting things. It's not a negative card, not especially about this draw, because this draw is about your work, because we got the trees here. So that's why when I look at the stars and I see the snake there in the house of the snake, what it actually holds it together, so something is being twisted. So, well, it's your trees you do, your work with the metal. And then we find the snake, and the snake is in the sun house, the house of sun, which is about this interesting, mysterious work you do, because you channel it. And you see the snake and sun, and then we look for the book, which is, the book is at the heart, in the house of heart. It's really your passion. And there you go. It's your faith. You need to be trusting. Well, you already do. I don't think you need to be reminded of that. You obviously do. And the cross is here. The cross here is like sharp. Sharp is about gathering, and actually it's a metal tool. So I'm kind of, it's interesting that this is what it's all about, your work here. It's really that's what's going to keep you going. They're very positive card here for that. And so if we follow the card of the man, and I think I did show it to you. See, you got the bouquet, you got the lily, you got the woman, you got the anchor, and then you go to the anchor, and it's here in the house of dog, and then it goes to man. You see how very direct that is? That's important. This draw is very clear. What it's talking about, it's your work. And because you also, yes, you feel that, you know, a lot, the burden, when we're grieving, this is a card of grieving. This is definitely a card of grieving. But there's the ship here and the lady of the lake, well, the ace of sword here, the ship here, and it's saying you gotta keep moving, you gotta trust, you gotta take this new beginning, you gotta start thinking, you know, these new ideas, and keep moving. And yes, you did uh, participate in helping the crossing, it, but you feel isolated because when we're in grieving, we can't see. You're gonna need to let it, you know, come to you in different way and trust it. But your work will keep you anchored, and because this is really your direction, your work, you know, because you feel stuck. But the Eight of Sword is not a card of to be desperate about. It shows that there's a new beginning you have to do, and this is going to be your direction. These are your thought that makes you feel. This is just thoughts that make you feel this way, and this is the grieving. But at the center, you have to start having new thoughts, and you have to think clearly, and just feel that passion. You know, just the story of the Lady of the Lake gives you that feeling. You know, and yes, and there's still that crossing that is happening, but there's a movement. You're moving. You're moving in and out. There's a movement that you're doing. You can go on both sides with it, because just having conversation here when we have the crossroad here, by exercising, you're passionate about your work that you do with the astral traveling. You have a lot of conversation here, you know, because you see this it's the crossroad here is, and it's all about conversation. And I think that keeps you stable, and you go with the flow with that. So yes, and well, okay, because we got the house here. We're gonna look at the house because the house of the house. It feels confusing still, you know, because you're alone, you know, but there's clarity. You need to trust that you stay committed to your work. You see the clarity when the card of the cloud is looking. This is where it was darker. You know, there was a lot of new things going on, like a new movement, and everything had to be changed. And but you have to look at what you need to be committed. It will keep it clear for you, your path, you know, at the garden here, the house, you know, it will become much more clear if you stay committed to what you do, your work, and that will keep you moving in the right direction. Keep working. You see the snake, keep working. This is where your direction, twisting that metal, it's very therapeutic, but at the same time, it will give you a lot of abundance because it's your work and you're right at the heart of it. I hope that you enjoyed this Lenormand card. You see, this is an introduction of your presence, your present time right now, and in a month we can do another draw like this to see where you are, because it's important to see where you land. This is how we introduce each other, and by my first introduction, and I mean, you went through a very hard time in the last few months, and you still feel the grief, and I think it's going to be a while, that it usually takes a while, but what's going to keep you together is that work you do with the tree. We could look at other cards, but it's very clear this is about your work, and the path that you take, everything you do, you twist, and everything, the conversation you have is about detailed work. Because you see, I got the path here, and the birds here they are. The birds are in mice. Mice is about detail. And then the letters, it's in letters, and you have to share it. That's why I mean letter. That's why I think you need to go out. You may need to have to your work has to be shared more, because it's not about you might have to use the internet a little bit more to get your work out. That's going to help a little. That's what I see here. And then if I look where the letter is, oh geez, where's the letter? Ah, there, letter. Well, there. You see the letter clover means it's going to be your fortune. You're going to make fortune. I wouldn't say fortune, but that's where you need to gamble. Clover, it's about gambling. This is a direction. You need to gamble towards that to make some connections with getting some photos out there. You need to be seen, because there's too much isolation. This has to be manipulated. You see the tower, you're feeling isolated. And if we go look at the tower, the moon is in the house of tower. That's about your work. And you could do it from home, but somehow you have to make contact outside. You have to make some new path with conversations, with whatever contacts you make, contacts, and a lot of chatting, and talk about your work. Even talking about your work is good, to make some contact with people. This is where you will be lucky that will help you. And clover is in coffin at the end over there, coffin, so it will end the isolation if you move that, and because you're gonna have to make you're gonna have to gather. See coffin, we're gonna get here. See the house of coffin. Where's the coffin? The coffin is inside, which is about gathering. It's about making decision, and that's it. Yeah, I think that. Well, we can keep going. I mean, I like to look at all the cards, but already, if you keep going and say, "Wow, okay, we could look at about your work," but we already did, because this was all about your work. You could look at your finances, about the fish. Well, fish, you need to keep working. We have to keep moving things. This is what the life of artists. We just got to keep making things. It just doesn't come just by thinking about it. You also have to do it. It's not all about thought. And I also took a card, and this one's called the Moonology cards. I would love this new deck, and I picked this one for you. It's the end of a tough cycle approaches. So there you go. And this is the advice. And usually these 4 cards, and we could see that at the end, when we have the cards of a person that is close to you, or even you, usually if they come at the end of the board here, it's because they're crossing over, and they're still in between. I think you can still feel like it's fairly new. Things are not finalized. You may be aware of it. I don't know. And this is an advice, and it's beautiful that the heart ended there, because this is very even if it's mysterious, that crossing over, you may not be completely aware. It might still be a mystery to you. You still want to know more about it at the heart of it. Because the book is here, and the book is like, you want to know where it, what direction it went to. Where is that your love, your true love, the sun. So this advice here is, keep gathering information, keep gathering your what you channel, keep working things. That's the key, the solution. Go with the flow, even if there's so many obstacles. You gotta go with the flow. The woman here it kept you stable, but she's in your heart, and she will keep you stable. You just gotta go with the flow. Well, I hope you like this draw, and like I said, I would like to redo this again in a month or so, because this was an introduction, and you kind of need to absorb that. I'm going to take a photo of it, because it's really hard to see it from a distance with my camera up there. I hope you can hear me, because it's about 5 feet up, and just so I can film this. And I'm going to do another draw in about a month for you, again with with the Grand Tableau. I call that the Grand Tableau because it's 36 cards. Actually, I discovered there's another one with 52 cards. And I went, oh my god, I think I have to get that deck. It's too much fun. But this deck is beautiful, and the one I picked, the Druid. I like the brown card, and I said, "Oh my God, this is for Shu-man," because I think I remember seeing a photo when you used to go to these festivals. You dress up with a brown. I guess it was a monk, and it was brown. I said, "Oh, these are cards for you." And anytime, if you have any question, if you want to look at some other cards in here, we could discuss it. But this is about your work, so I don't think there would be any new information going on here. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna end this video right now. Climb up, and hopefully it did okay. All right, bye.